Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So here I am in the free-to-play account, and we made a big step in the lead to acquiring much better gear, and that is the ancient gear. Now we can also collect some eternal bullions, so we can upgrade our gear or ascend our gear later on. But the big thing here is just the fact that now we can start farming for the ancient mythic gear in this account. Now we can start strengthening our heroes to tackle other contents in the game. So how did I tackle 19? My roster is not very full at the moment. Remember, this is a free-to-play account, but I have been lucky to summon some great heroes, and Falsi being a fighter, and then regulars being one of my tanks. You can see here that I'm in the danger phase as is displayed here, and really the only character that really matters in this run is actually going to be Vierna. I was doing some testing. I'm going to show you that you can do this if you have the gear, if you can really push your gear, that you can do it with the epic Maul. But I was able to, given the gear that I had in this account, I was able to at least manage with Vierna to get this done and complete the run. And if you don't know about the Volca cheese and GR2-19 and 21, it's a strategy that works very well. You just gotta get the timings down and everything should work out well for you. And once you get those timings down, then you can really bring in other heroes into it to test out, and there are so many of them that you can try doing this. One of them being Komet. We got Vierna. If you don't have those two, there's Marksman Silas that can do it too, but if you don't have those legendaries, you can do it with Maul. So essentially the setup here is we're going to take those two initial ads down, and we are I took him down with the fighter. You sat there, Deimos. We got these characters to stop, and then once they start moving again, whatever they become in contact with, they just completely they dissolve, right? They die unless your tanks can take the hit. So you can then see now here I have Deimos and Baron to stop these. Now I'm going to set everything up. My fighter here survived that. So I'm going to put another tank down, Dolores and Vierna up here. And then once I get the timings down, I can activate Vierna's AoE. Now I'm going to bring everybody out. So on that one, she didn't bring it out. So I'm going to have to go check to make sure I'm messing around with her gear too much. But the story remains the same here. Now with Deimos, I'm gonna activate the rage, and I'm gonna bring in my fighter and Dolores in to finish him off. So that run might not have been perfect, but it was auto and it worked, and we got it all down, and now we can farm to 19. So let me switch over really quick to the primary account, and I can show you a run that I did with Maul. So here is going to be the clip that I collected in doing it with Maul and trying to get that timing down. So as you can see, the power of dominance is off. Here we are at 219. I'm bringing in my tanks. So as you can see here, so first I'm bringing in 4 tanks actually. So I'm gonna, one is essentially a backup, right? So I'm bringing in Soldi, Regulus, Oleg, and Baron. So if you can get 4 tanks in, or maybe a fighter that can really take it down like Abomination, then you can bring those in. We have Volca here because she's going to be essential for this run. She's awakened once. So instead of the cooldown being 60 seconds, they're all going to be 45 seconds. We have Vortex here. He's going to be a healer, and he's also going to take the rocks from these monsters that come on the side. They start tossing rocks. They start tossing the rocks over to the first hero that is placed on the platforms. And also remember that those are AoE. So if you place your healer here in the middle, you're going to be in danger of Dolores and your AoE damage dealer taking damage as well. So that's why you're going to see me put him on the side. Dolores is going to be the boost, and then Decimus with his slow cooldown. We can bring him in to stop the boulders, and also use Baron's passive to stop the Borans, get them rolling again, and we can manage those relatively easily. I'm using a fighter here. If you have like a very strong AoE mage that you can use up here to bring this down really quickly while you have your tank down here, then do so. That's another alternative to it, and there's somebody that can bring the boss down as well. So I just have Salazar here as my fighter. You just need somebody that can really hit hard, and there are many fighters in the game that can do that. So here you can see me now that I'm done. The monster hasn't even come out yet. The golem, excuse me, has not even come out yet. So I'm going to recall them. As long as you can get those two down before the golem does that initial pounding, you'll be fine. Okay, so here's the key to the placement of Decimus. So I'm going to place Decimus down right after I see the third flash, just to time this correctly, because I'm going to need that extra second, right? So there's the flash. Now I'll put him down. So you see now he's not taking 2 hits. He did take the additional hit that activated his passive. Now I actually got myself 1 second because of it. Okay, so I have time to remove him. And now I'm going to place my tank. So the first one is going to go up. He's going to be Vortex. You can place him here. You can place him to the right. You can place him on the left. It does not matter, just as long as you have the coverage that you're going to need. He is going to now take the boulders. As you can see now, I placed Dolores here, and I placed Maul up here. Now, the Maul that I have here is fully awakened. Maybe 3 awaken 3 makes things easier because you can freeze people and activate the slow, but you should be able to do it if you have everybody else geared correctly. You should be able to do it with unawakened Maul. So you can kind of just see that I've slowed down, just to make sure that I see everything come down. As soon as I notice that the health bars of all the enemies have decreased and they're not longer all going to be there, I'm going to recall them all back in a particular order. The first one that I clicked to recall was Vortex, then Dolores, then Maul, and then my tanks. Okay, so in this step here, I'm going to put in Decimus and Baron. So there are Decimus and Baron down. So now that I'm gonna wait for him to come down and stop. So he stops, now I can recall him. I can already see the Baron's passive activated, so I'm gonna recall him too, so I can get that cost back. I'm gonna put Isolde down. You could have put place Regulus, which is fine, but these two are gonna go down and she can take the hits. I'm gonna use Volca here just to stop things. There we go. So that's down, and like I said, I am going to put in, there you go, Dolores and Maul are now on the platform, and now I'm going to put in this tank. So everything is working correctly here. Now I'm just waiting for the ultimates to regenerate all around here. You can see my tanks are taking the damage. That is key. You have to make sure that your tanks can outlast the damage. And now that I have them all lined up, we're a little bit behind, which is fine, but as long as I can take them all out and wipe them all out, we should be okay. So I'm going to take everybody back as much as possible because I want to make sure that I recall everybody before that that slam. So now you see the shriek. Now we have completed this. Now we're going to do the Decimus and Baron Cheese again one more time. And if you can, try to keep them ahead of you. Makes things easier. If they slide behind you, that's fine. You're just gonna have to work on the timing of the placement of the tanks. So here is my next tank, Regulus. He's going to be able to now take the hits, and then I'm going to place Volk again. It does not matter this side. We got it taken care of. So now I'm waiting for Decimus cooldown to end. Now he's active. So now I'm going to call Regulus. He was just there. Now, Decimus here, the purpose that I'm using him is to, number one, stop the golem, but second is I want him to rage. I want his rage to get activated and he wastes it. Okay, so now he's done. Now I'm going to place my next tank. I just picked Oleg because he was the one that was up next. And then the second one, you can put in your fighter or put in Vortex or your healer right away, just to make sure your tank's okay. So that's what I did. I made sure that he was okay, and then I'm going to place in my fighter. If you have the mage, you can place him up top, pointed towards the golem, try to get this down. And I'm also going to place Dolores here on top because I'm going to activate her ultimate to time with Salazar. And if you want somebody to come and do some backup damage, you know, bring him all again if you want. You don't have to, because you're going to see that as soon as I activate my fighter's ultimate, is going to bring the golem down. So that is how we you can unlock 219 fairly early on, even in a free-to-play account, if you have somebody that you can strengthen enough to open up that particular dungeon. Now here, I'm going to show you now the build that I had chosen for this particular setup for Maul. So Maul here, I gave him about 11,000 attack, as close to 100% crit rate as I could, and 272 crit damage. In this instance here, I think that you, well, and then given that my Dolores was very beefed up, right? So just keep in mind that I was able to get her to about 12,000 attack, and that helped with how much minimal stats I had on Maul to clear that. So you have to kind of balance that out, and you have to make sure that your Dolores is built well enough to give you that extra attack that you need to push your Maul to do that type of damage that you are going to need. There is another particular trick where you can bring Laurel, but you need to bring in Navi or Delan to get you that extra cost back if you are struggling in boosting Maul's damage. I think in this regard that I was able to do it enough with Dolores. That is something that you can do. For this account here, I have the Orb of Euphoria on her. But so coming back here to the free play account, this Dolores was able to boost Bierna enough with the gear that she had, and in this server I have her at 9,000 attack. So if I could push her with gear, farming more gear from stage 3 or stage 2 to boost this to 12,000 attack, I bet you I could have done it with Maul. But at the same time, I was able to, in addition to that 9, I invested on an ancestral teaching artifact where I'm getting 16% extra attack. So if you don't have your Dolores built well enough to give your character a boost, then this artifact can help you. It doesn't take a lot of metro to invest on it, but early on this can come in handy if you need the additional attack boost. Now, I just picked Maul because I think that he is the most accessible out of all the heroes that I could have shown it with. You could do it with Comet if you want as well. For me, it was just easier to go ahead and unlock the stage with Vierna because she's her AoE is just phenomenal, right? We all know that she is the queen when it comes to damage, and it makes things a lot easier once you get her skilled up, and you can then drive the damage in that particular content. So now for a free-to-play account to unlock a 19 stage is going to be big. Now we can get some better gear for the next setup, which is going to be gear raid 1 and 3, and try to advance in those stages. Hopefully I provided you some tips that you can use in a free-to-play account to try to drive your account. And to review, if you're gonna try to use Maul to do it in your free-to-play, just make sure that with any type of artifacts that you use, with Dolores's boost and with his gear, that you are in that 13 to 14,000 attack range, and try to get him to 100% crit rate if you can, just to make sure that whatever crit damage you get on that build can then boost the damage to bring everybody down. The first wave is going to be a lot easier. You just need to have enough firepower to take down that second wave, because they have a little bit more defense on them than the first wave that is coming. I wish you the best of luck if you're going to try this method to unlock 219, and if you have any questions, please post them below and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time on another Watch Our Realms video.
Their souls are mine to take.